Hey everybody, you're listening or watching the DVO Show. I am DVO, Derek Van Otten, and I'm here with my new friends, Bryan and Heather Carr. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys were able to come down. I am so excited to talk today because we're going to be talking about donuts.
Yeah.
It's a great subject.
I love donuts. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so excited.
Who doesn't, man? Everybody loves donuts.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who doesn't like donuts?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. So first of all, for our listeners and viewers, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and maybe where your love or infatuation with donuts came from?
All right, I'll let her start.
No, I said you because I'm just like ditto to you. So
She just says, yeah, what he said. So I'm Bryan Carr. We're here to talk about donuts because Heather and I put on Utah's first premier donut festival just, a month ago now.
Exactly a month.
The end of April. It was the Utah Dough Show. So we came up with the concept and ran with it. We'll talk about kind of the planning and stuff. But my love for donuts probably dates back to when I was a kid.
Okay.
Had a local donut shop there. It's called Tan Top Bakery. I grew up in Santa Maria, California.
Okay.
So on the coast, Central Coast in California. There was Tan Top Bakery. Friends of our family owned it. And I always remember going there and, all the time. I mean, literally all the time as a teenager, because when you're a teenager, you can eat a lot.
Yeah.
And so
you eat a lot of sugar with no repercussions.
Great. It was great. So we frequented that, and then as an adult, obviously don't eat as much.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at times. There's times. But really started visiting a lot of donut shops when I was traveling for work. So we started visiting a lot of donut shops and kind of keeping track of where we were going.
Like a log or journal?
Yeah, like literally. Like, oh,
really?
Because we
like that.
We go back to a lot of the same cities.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm going to write down where the good stuff is or where the bad stuff is to avoid it. So that kind of like started to snowball, just really slowly. Like, we're going to a bunch of donut shops and keeping a list, and then it just started growing and growing and growing, and then I started.
Now I'm involved with it.
Yeah, now the snowball got so big that it.
Yeah, so now I have association because of him. So.
Yeah, I started a blog, an Instagram account, Donuts Unplugged, and started kind of chronicling, journaling where I've been and some of the donut adventures we go on. So
isn't that cool how like the transition came from like a little journal to now like social media?
Yeah, huge social media
pictures,
donut festival to all of that stuff. So it really kind of has taken on a life of its own.
It affects our family because family vacations now revolve around how many donut shops can we go to.
There's that.
While we're here.
That's a great way to base a vacation.
Our kids do not like it. So like they've now said, okay, Dad, you have 30 minutes to get in and out, take all your pictures, and we're done and out of here.
We go to a place, they'll get donuts and be like, wait, Dad's got to take pictures first.
Yeah, before you bite it.
Camera eats first.
Not another donut shop. I'm like, get over it. Should be used to it by now.
Yeah.
Part of our life.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so you're just guilty through association, right?
Really, that is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, she kind of watched from the sidelines for a little while and was like, you're out of your mind, You are literally, I don't know why you have this obsession with donuts and that. It kind of came on, again, it was really slow. It's been interesting in hindsight to look at it, but, it came to really learn that there's very few people that don't like donuts. And literally, and most people that I talk to who say they don't, like, oh, I can't stand donuts. I tell them, I said, it's just because you haven't found the right one. I said, you get the right one, then you're hooked. And people are very particular about their donuts. Some love, cake and old fashioned, or some love Easter eggs. I mean, there's opinions. I mean, literally, like BYU versus Utah kind of thing.
Right.
People are very, very opinionated about their donuts, but everybody, it's like the universal food that. Everybody enjoys.
Always around.
When I just saw your latest Instagram, Donuts Unplugged, you just posted it was International Burger Day.
Yeah.
And it was like have you had those burger donuts?
I've had a version of it. But that particular one I grabbed from somebody else's account because it looked amazing.
It did look really good.
Amazing.
Really good.
There's several iterations of donut hamburgers. They use the donut as the bun or. Some way. The best one, though, I got to tell you, it reminds me, was the Monte Cristo.
Oh.
So at District Donuts, so they're out of New Orleans, but they have a restaurant in the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So District Donuts, they got really, really good donut selection and everything, and they make a Monte Cristo sandwich with donuts as the bun.
Oh, instead of like the
unbelievable
French bread looking
the
French toast looking one. Okay.
Yep.
So
that
it's
sounds
super
good.
good. Yeah, we were there last time and I was like, oh, we've got to get, because I've heard good things about it. So I was like, we have got to get that. And sure enough,
well,
it's
you know,
good.
that's sweet and savory, and it's just a great,
That
great
sounds
combination.
Yeah.
So I want to transition then into the dough show. So if you guys watch or listen to my other podcast with my brother, Buko Boys, we ranted and raved about the dough show and you guys, like on a couple episodes.
That was awesome.
we were stoked, and we were so thankful to you guys to just help us get extra tickets so we can go out there too. But I know a lot of work went into it, and that was my highest praise for you guys. I know a lot of work had to go into something like that. I don't even know where to begin. I'm so excited to talk. I'm like so excited to talk about this. I don't even know where to begin. So let's walk it through it then. How did this come to fruition? Like, where did this come from? So this just happened, like you said, just barely a month ago.
Yeah.
Just barely a month ago. And when I release this, I'm releasing it on International Donut Day.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
So that's when I'm going to release this episode. So it's perfect timing.
I love it.
Which is, so just in a few days.
Yeah, next Friday.
It's next Friday. It's June 7th.
Yeah. So kind of tell us, like, how did that come to fruition? Like, where did that come from? The idea spawn from?
We have been planning this thing for over a year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. We started thinking about it probably January of 2018.
Ah.
We went to our first donut festival in Chicago.
Okay.
On the plane ride home, I said, we need to do that in Utah.
Like, this donut festival you went to, was that an accident, or you guys?
Yeah.
Like, it was an accident. Okay.
No.
it
It was deliberate.
It was
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, we'd heard about it. Somebody tagged us in a post on Facebook or something at some point. So,
But it was
this
for
is
a different
Donut
one, was a funny thing. It was for the one in April.
That's right.
And
Okay.
so then I Googled Chicago Donut Festival, and I was like, there's one in 3 weeks. This was the beginning of January, and it was the end of January. And I'm like, there's a festival in 3 weeks. He's like, we gotta go. And I was like,
tickets?
okay, Mom, can you babysit kids? We're flying out to Chicago, and it happened to be like our
It was
anniversary
in
weekend.
January, so it was perfect time
it's
for
beautiful.
Resolutions.
Beautiful.
I got a beautiful time to visit
Chicago,
Chicago
too,
as
let me
well.
tell you.
The weather's incredible, you know.
And resolutions just got made for the New Year's and
exactly.
Donut Festival.
Yeah, toast. Yep.
So end of January, and so we flew out there and thought we loved it, had a great time.
Yeah.
We're like, how can we do this in Utah? And so even right after the event, we're like, what would we change? How can we make this better? And so then we just kind of been thinking about it, and then I think
that planted the seed.
That
you know,
planted
it
it.
got us.
Okay.
and then
like,
he was like,
think
how
of
many do it? And then every couple months I'd be like, hey, we need to talk about Donut Festival. Let's do it. What are we going to name it? And so we got stuck on the name for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I think
We
finally...
got stuck on the name. We got stuck on timing because
Yeah.
most of them are in the spring.
Okay.
Sacramento does theirs in the fall, and so we were like spring, fall. Well, we're too late to
We
do
didn't
it
think
then.
we could do October because it was just, so quickly.
And then
so
summer, summer comes, and we're like, oh crap, if we want to do it in September, like we're running out of time, and so we kind of drug our feet through the summer. But we went to another Chicago Donut Festival in April of that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the name of research.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Lots of research.
So that helped. We learned a lot from those. So we kind of went with that thing of these are kind of cool because we didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah.
We were like Donut Festival.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it really is a thing, and there's more around the country than people realize. Like they're still kind of hard to find.
Okay.
They're pretty obscure. Most of them are on. I have a Facebook event page or something. But went to Chicago in April, and then I ended up DMing on Instagram with the people that put on Sacramento, the Sac Dough Show or Sacramento Donut Festival. So
We
dealing with
started
them.
promoting them on our Instagram.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
okay.
we started
Sacramento.
Sacramento because it was
'Cause
September.
We planned on going.
Yeah, we knew we were going to take our kids to it, and so we started saying, hey, who's going to meet us in Sacramento? Let's go. And so so then he started DMing with the people that put them on.
Yeah. So they were really great. They invited me to be one of the judges out there at the Sac Dough Show. So I was like, okay. I'm like, so, and I asked myself, what do I do? What's all involved in judging? He's like, eat some donuts and tell us whether or not you like them. I was like, all right, I can do that,
That is a perfect job for me, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like I say, it's part of the snowball. It just like kept growing, and then we're like, all right, we can totally do this.
Yeah, so we're like, let's just do it. We've got to plan it. We came up with a name, found a building.
Wow.
And just like, let's roll with it.
Really
let's see what happens.
Like November, right? October, November
November is when we finally
really started like
planning it.
getting after it. So
yeah.
And you guys, I love how you guys did the build up too. Like you were already kind of promoting for tickets went on sale.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this sold out in what, minutes?
4 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
We had two releases
yeah.
of tickets. The first one was just to email subscribers, and the VIP sold out in like 2 minutes, and then the rest of them took
about 30.
probably I think in total it was about 30 minutes, and so we were like, oh, wow. You know?
Yeah.
And of course, he's out of town.
Yeah, I'm out of town when we did this.
So he's, back east, and I'm here, and he's like, oh, what's going on with the website?
People are DMing. We'll get to the build up to it. But,
okay.
Like that day, so we go, okay, do it. Click go. And literally within 2 to 3 minutes, we start getting DMs and emails and like Facebook messages and all this stuff. Like, I can't get tickets. It's saying insufficient inventory. And I thought, oh man, the ticket site broke.
Right.
Worst thing ever. Like, I can't believe this is happening. And I go and I log in. And I'm looking at it. It's like inventory 0. Sold 200. I was like, wait, like what?
Wow.
Like it went that fast. But yeah, the build up was a kind of a fun part. We've never done an event like this.
We are not event planners. We
Yeah,
have never planned events.
We're not social media like experts by any stretch of the imagination. We set up a Facebook event. Started talking to donut shops. We know a lot of them here already.
Okay. Yeah.
But we kind of focused. We really pushed on the local angle. Locally owned, kind of your Utah.
I like that
local,
too.
Local
Yes,
donut
we
shops.
wanted to keep it local and find the hidden ones. That people don't know.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about it.
Yes.
Was finding all the little hidden gems.
Yes.
I was like, wait, where have you guys been my whole life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted.
There was a lot of that, and that was one of our big pushes. Is go to the hole in the wall or just ones that were obscure. I mean, especially the ones in grocery stores and that people are like. I mean, when I think of grocery store donuts, it's like.
Exactly.
But, I mean, we've got some really, really good ones here in Utah.
Yeah.
But the build up, we started talking to donut shops. Hey, do you want to do this? The hard part was for a lot of them was kind of selling them on the concept because it really hadn't been done before. So they're like, so what is this again?
What are we doing?
What is it? Yeah, a lot of people thought it was kind of like an expo, like like the wedding expos they have like Southtown where they got all these vendors and everybody's like no. Literally, it's like donut tasting. You offer a sample of whatever your best donut is, and everybody gets to try it. And, so selling the vendors on the concept was challenging, but I'll tell you, 90% of them were absolutely excited. Even just at the thought, like the concept.
Oh yeah, of course we'll be there.
Oh yeah, we're all over that. A couple of them were like, I don't know. I don't see how this would be valuable. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But we ended up recruiting 20 total donut vendors. We had 21 lined up. One of them had an issue, but which was phenomenal. We went into it thinking,
let's get 12.
Yeah,
if we get a dozen donut shops come out, we'll be good. And we can sell 800 tickets, we'll be good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why we picked where we picked, because we didn't know what to expect, and so we're like, okay, this venue looks good, and the price was right. So it was kind of a huge thing being a first event is.
Right. Event spaces.
I can imagine.
Event spaces are really expensive. And so we're like, okay, they gave us a great deal, and we're like, okay, we'll do it there. And I'm like, because I'm like, oh yeah, we can easily fit 12 in here, no big deal.
Yeah.
Little did we know.
Yeah, the response was from the vendors.
That we would end up with
unexpected.
20 donut vendors,
that's great,
4 VIP ones, and 2 drink vendors.
Yeah.
So we ended up with 25 vendors in that room, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it got packed.
No, it was great, and you guys did a good job because you put it in waves.
Yes.
So you got VIP first, and then 2 additional waves after that. So it wasn't like super crowded. So that made sense.
Yeah.
So that was great. All the vendors, you can kind of get in a line and just go in and just grab it, whatever more easier.
Yeah.
You had a live DJ playing.
Yes.
Where'd that idea come from?
Yeah, we had just
they
a friend of ours.
Chicago, and
Okay.
Chicago had music playing, and then I have a friend who was the DJ, and I was like, hey, we're having this event. You want to come DJ? She's like, oh, of course I'll come do it for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, okay, perfect.
Great.
And so just happened to be a friend that I knew that I thought, this is some small time donut festival. She's like, oh, definitely, I'll come help you out. Big deal. Ended up being bigger than we thought. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you had some judges come in. They were all from out of town, right?
Yeah, all but 2.
All but 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we had some of my, what do you call them?
Joys of having a donut life.
Okay.
Is you.
I need more of this. I need more of this in my life. Okay, go.
You kind
I love
of
this.
learn. There's a lot of donut influencers, donut people that we've just met through Instagram.
Yeah.
Like when we went to Sacramento to judge that one, we met Team George.
Okay.
And we became friends with him, and so we DM with him often, and then we've met Duke.
Yeah, Duke of Donuts.
We were in California.
So a lot of these guys
let's meet
all
up.
of them I met in person before this, but we'd always been tagging each other on Instagram and kind of having that community to it and getting to know all these guys. There were a couple of gals we had lined up too, and they couldn't make it, but they're just like friends that you'd met in real life. You met on Instagram.
We told them we were putting this on, and they're like, we want to come support you.
You know,
like, we would love to have you guys
come out.
Wow.
Put you on the pro judging panel.
Yeah.
And all of that. So
people realize that we did not pay for them to fly out, and we didn't pay them to do that. They flew
Oh,
out
wow.
on their own
came
dime.
out on their own dime.
They flew out on their own dime.
That's
Yes.
so cool of them.
So some people was like, "You guys are doing this for charity, but you're flying all these judges," and I'm like, "No, we're not. They are flying out here because they just want to support us.
Yep.
Wow. Become good enough friends with them that they just want to support our first event."
That's really nice of them.
So they flew out, on their own dime from Chicago, Dallas, and
Sacramento, and LA.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had
so
two
cool.
local judges. Donut critic was Benjamin.
Yeah.
He lives down in Lehigh. So he's another Utah kind of donut guy. And great to watch his Instagram account.
Yeah, I followed him. He followed me. I followed him back.
He's
I posted
great.
you guys.
He's really great. And then we had actually an officer from West Jordan PD.
We didn't
Sergeant.
advertise about him.
Yeah, we didn't post him because he did a lot of undercover work. Before and all that. He sent me his bio and I was gonna post it and I was like, and he was like, "Hey, could you take the part out about my family?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna hold off on this."
Okay.
Super cool guy, brought his whole family and he's back there. I mean,
I'll tell you what though.
so it was really cool to have these guys together. They've never all been under one roof.
No.
And then just be in there and to be able to judge donuts. So we set up a separate room for them so they had their own kind of private area.
Okay.
Yes.
We went out when all the vendors were setting up and grabbed whatever donuts they had kind of earmarked for the judges.
Yeah.
And it had it all set up, held number. It was blind judging. That was the thing. Is we didn't know. We just had numbers on all the plates.
Okay.
So they didn't know where it was from, who it was from, and granted, besides Benjamin and the sergeant from here from West Jordan PD, they wouldn't recognize really any of the donuts because everybody else was out of town. Nonetheless, we made it blind. So they went around and gave them scorecards, taste, texture. What was the other category? We only had 2 or 3.
There's like 3: taste, texture, and
look.
appearance.
Yeah, I think it was appearance. Because that was another thing. We're like, how many categories of points do we have to score? And I wanted to keep it simple.
Okay.
But
I do like the idea. I know. Too bad you couldn't roll on it. It made sense. But the idea of a police officer because of the because of what's attached to it.
Yes.
Yeah, we absolutely had
cops and
so I
donuts.
I like
charities
that idea.
cop was a officer
Sports
charities.
Yeah. So let's mention that you guys actually got you were able to donate more than you had planned.
Yep.
So let's talk about how much you were able to donate to the 2 causes.
Yeah.
And how you picked them.
Okay, so we picked 2. The 2 that we picked was the 1033 Foundation of Utah, because we have a good friend that is a unified.
Yeah, he's
UPD sergeant.
Okay.
And so that's how we got to know about the 1033 Foundation, and just learning that when police officers are killed in line of duty, it takes months before their family gets these death benefits. So the 1033 Foundation just shows up at their door the next day with a check for $25,000 free and clear at the stairs.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Support the
And
family.
so it's just to support the family until they do get those death benefits to kick in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I learned about that because of our friend, because his wife used to work on the board and stuff. And so I thought, well, COPS is kind of a great charity.
Yeah.
Considering we're doing it for donuts. So we're like, and we wanted to do a local charity too.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked
local
the
Utah charities.
1033 Foundation. So that was our first one. And then the second one was the Christmas Box House, which has to do with children. And just another great charity that just was dear to our heart.
Yep.
That they've been great to work with. We just thought that they would.
Yeah, they provide emergency children's shelter to kids who are removed from a bad situation.
Yeah.
Family or whatever. They say there's no immediate family that can pick them up or take them in, so they have a place to stay. Because before that, they would sleep at the caseworker's office. A DCFS officers. They didn't have a place to go to for just a night or two. If that's all they needed. And so Richard Paul Evans, who's a really well-known author, his book, The Christmas Box House. So years ago he started then Christmas Box House, or now it's Christmas Box International.
Yeah, so it came
so
from
they built 3 homes on the Wasatch Front to serve as these kind of intermediate, in between when a child's removed from a tough situation to when they're placed either in foster care or with family, a place for them to stay, on a temporary basis, somewhere that's safe. They can get medical care.
They walk in, they get
you name
teddy
it, teddy bear, the
they
whole
get
thing.
clothes when they get in there, because most of them show up with nothing.
Yeah.
Just put the clothes on their back. That's all they have. And so when they walk in, they know that there's somebody there that's very friendly and loving, and they, they'll throw birthday parties for these kids if they find out it's their birthday, and so
all this great
they
stuff.
all have a book and they all get teddy bears and all this stuff. And so, we talked to the what was her name? Lisa. She's the one that runs it in the Salt Lake one.
Okay.
We talked to her and just was like, this is a great cause.
Yeah, she gave us a tour of it.
We gave us a tour. It was just amazing what they do for these kids. Yeah. We know some of the things. A few years ago, we got licensed to be foster parents.
Oh,
and then so we were licensed to do it, and we were about ready to get a child, and our life circumstances changed where we just like we can't take it on right now, and so we never pursued it again. But then when we were thinking about charities, this one just kept coming back to us. And it was another local Utah charity, and we knew what some of these children had gone through. Yeah. And it's heard so many stories. We're like, it would be great to be able to give back.
That is really
and so
great.
that's why we picked those two.
That makes sense. So what was your goal, and then when it happened?
We really didn't have a goal to start with.
$5,000.
Yeah, we're like, all right, we want to donate $5,000. So in the beginning, we weren't sure like how we're going to structure it, but what it turned into is we ended up donating net proceeds to these two charities. So we covered our event expenses, you know, buying the goodie bags and the venue and all that stuff. Everybody else was volunteer, but all those kind of hard costs with putting on an event. And everything left over, so our only revenue source this year was from ticket sales.
Okay.
So we didn't have any, big dollar sponsors, you know, Zions Bank or somebody come in and, any of that. We're going to push for that in coming years, only so it opens up more for us to donate to charity. If they cover some of those costs, then we use, we're able to donate more. So we said, we're going to donate net proceeds. We'll cover the hard costs, and everything else we'll donate to charity. So I think we talked about $5,000 or something like that.
Split between the two. I'm like, that'd be pretty good.
And we ended up donating over $10,000 to the charity. So we're a little over $5,000 to each. So we kind of doubled what we'd originally thought.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Like I say, it was made possible. The folks in Utah were so excited about the Donut Festival. There were so many people that were angry they couldn't get tickets.
I know.
It was crazy, but they made it possible. It wasn't just, hey, here's $25 so you can eat some donuts. It was eat some donuts, and like was kind of joked about it. I'm like, eat donuts and feel good about it because you're raising money for charity.
Eat dough to raise dough.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Oh yeah, I like
raise
that.
Dough.
Yeah, that was our slogan.
That was our slogan this
year.
year.
To raise dough. So.
But yeah, and so it was a great experience for us just to know that we can give back to the community. Like we didn't do this. Like a lot of people don't understand. We didn't do this for the money.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't. That's not why we care. It's not a priority for us.
Yep.
And so that's why we donated it all. Like we didn't keep any of it.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it to donate to the charities and just to highlight all the different donut shops.
Yeah.
Just get word out. We just wanted to support the local donut shops. That was our whole goal.
Well, again, I want to give you guys kudos because that took a lot of initiative, I know it took a lot of legwork.
It did. It was a lot of late nights.
Yeah, I can imagine putting the goodie bags, talking to the vendors, organizing the whole. I know it took a lot of work. So.
On top of a traveling schedule.
Yeah,
most people don't know he travels.
Yeah, I've gone
every other
50% of the time.
Oh, so he's gone 50% of the month. So it's me single parenting it, and he's on the road, and so trying to figure that life out and trying to plan a donut festival at the same time.
I think I said in one of the posts, I'm like, we use the margins of the day. It's just like we have day jobs and we have stuff going on. It's like kids are in bed. Okay, we got a couple hours where we're gonna zonk for the night. It's like let's sit down, we'll email. I'm sending out emails at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Just that's the time that we had. And so it was challenging. I mean, there were a lot of things not having ever done it before that we didn't know what to expect. There was a lot of that. We knew enough to be dangerous, but still didn't know exactly what to expect. So things like when tickets went on sale, totally blown away by the response, and we were like, whoa, because we had all these other plans, like backup plan after backup plan, like how are we gonna, if tickets don't sell, we're gonna have these social media influencers do this. We had all these backup plans. All of a sudden, that was gone, like out the door.
Wow.
We're like, okay, and then it created different problems, that we didn't expect.
Now we gotta fulfill this promise.
Yeah, we never
deliver here.
Yeah, it was one of those things.
We got 6 weeks to pull this together, so
we really got to deliver on it. So it went really well. I mean, we were happy with it. The venue, it was small. The crowds were manageable. We've been in worse. A couple of them in Chicago are. If people thought that the one that we put on was crowded, the Chicago ones are even worse. Just. The lines and overall, and there's one of them that's donuts and mimosas. So it's held in these the one that's in April. There's two big bars that are next to each other that have kind of a pass through between them, and they're both 2 floor bars, and they're big venues. So they have the donut vendors kind of spread out throughout the venue. Well, the thing starts at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and they're serving alcohol the whole time. So it's like by noon, you got a bunch of people that are full on donuts and they're hammered, and there's just huge crowds. People.
It's all general. It's all general.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
everybody
shows up at the same time.
Everybody comes in, and it's just madness. Like you're standing in the back of line, going, "What? I don't know what line I'm standing in. Is it for the bathroom or is it for that donut?" But that whole experience, we really enjoyed seeing people have fun. We get it. They say the venue was small. We're gonna find a bigger place next time.
Yeah, there's gonna be some
and open it up.
Yeah.
But there were even people. We sent out a survey afterwards and asked for feedback. Like, hey, what can we do different? There were people who complained there was too much food, and I said, as a festival promoter, I don't know what I call myself. As a creator of this, I'm like, that is the highest compliment you could ever get. I'm like, it was too much. I couldn't eat it all.
I like how you looked at that.
I'm like, all right, great.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
But it was a lot of fun. A lot of our vendors had a lot of fun. She's talked to a lot of them since then, personally, and just, hey, how was it? How did it go?
Right.
And had a lot of positive feedback. So
I have two. I actually went to the one that I voted for. I won't say it on here, but they might be coming on. They might be coming on.
I think I know which one it is.
So we were talking to him about it, and they were saying that they love the whole experience too. And because it was funny because even as a vendor talking to the vendor, he wasn't complaining of like, oh, there's too much, I couldn't keep up, or it was a long day. He was just like, man, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know anyone personally that actually went, but I was seeing people that were liking it on like Facebook, and I could just see more people were interested, more people. I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is gonna. And I had no idea it sold out that fast. It was
I know.
Yeah,
bananas.
it was nuts.
It was crazy.
It really was crazy. We're grateful for it. We learned a lot going into next year. Like talked to her about. I look at things through a different lens now. That experience. Like, okay, now I know what to expect. Whereas before, there was a lot of unknown, and we guessed, and most of the time we guessed right. There were a few things where we're like, oh, okay, yeah, we totally boxed that. Fortunately, from an attendee perspective, they don't see a lot of the behind the scenes. We forgot that, or that didn't go as well. That's great, as long as they're having a good time and they're getting piles of donuts. Totally good with
it was funny because what I saw people do, they were adapting and they were asking the vendors for the top of the boxes, and they're just filling up.
Yeah.
And I actually wouldn't have went that route if I could rewind time. I actually would not have went that route. I liked what you did. It was like a bigger boat.
Yes, that was the biggest one we could find.
Biggest one available.
Yeah. Well, I liked that because what I was able to do is I was able to get like 3 or 4 to fit on there.
Yeah.
Because like that was it. And then we go, and there's a bunch of tables, inside and outside. Yeah. Or people were standing too. Yeah. You could sample it. You could like, hey, this was this place, this was this place. You remember where you got it from.
Exactly.
And then you go back in and do it again.
Exactly.
And so I like the way you guys had it set up. But I do.
That was our vision for it. That's how we wanted to go.
So I did it right. Okay, good.
You did exactly right.
Well, I didn't start off right. I started off with like, let me eat this whole donut.
Oh yeah.
And then
you're like, oh,
after the third booth, I'm like, okay, I need to just get a bite. I am not going to keep up at this pace.
That's right.
Yeah. It really.
So that was my learning curve.
Yeah.
So definitely just take a bite.
And that's something that from an attendee perspective, Utahns haven't experienced this. The traditional food festival is $5 to get in the door.
Yeah.
And then you buy whatever you want.
Yes.
So we kind of flipped that, and we're like, look, you're paying for it up front, and you get a sample from everybody. And so it was a foreign concept for attendees as well. They didn't know exactly how it was going to go. We told our vendors, and what ended up happening, we had 20 vendors, which
that's hard to try and manage all that.
Yeah, just the 20 vendors alone was more than we expected, and then a lot of the vendors offered more than the minimum sample size. Yeah. So we told our vendors, say, hey, minimum sample, a quarter of a donut. We figured that's fair. Yeah. We ended up with 20. Do the math. It's 5 whole donuts. If everybody stuck to the quarter donut. Yeah. Well, a lot of them didn't.
Right.
So people literally walking out with just piles of donuts.
I did not realize that so many vendors were going to provide huge donuts. I was like, what about maybe 1 or 2 were going to provide whole donuts? Yeah. No, there was a lot of them that provided whole donuts.
Some of them were being smart. Like, hey, like us on Instagram, tag a couple people, we'll give you this donut.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So I went home with 3 full donuts plus pieces of other ones because you had the one that you judged. Plus they provided extra flavors.
Yes.
Yeah, they had extra.
So I probably had an accumulation of like 7 donuts I took home.
Oh, yeah. I know there was one donut shop that was like giving out boxes of half a dozen. By the end, they were just like giving them away.
Yeah, they had so many.
They had so many there. They had just boxes of them. Like, hey, here. My brother's like, I ended up with like 3 of those boxes. I came home with them.
Yeah.
I was like,
good.
okay.
And then you guys had swag bags. So you had these cool, what do you call them?
Drawstring
bags. A bunch of goodies, some freebies, some other stuff in there. Stickers, pens.
Yeah.
VIP got mugs. Those mugs look awesome.
Yes.
And I think you guys did a bang up job.
Yeah.
It was much needed. We needed something like that.
Yes.
It was much wanted, as you saw. Tickets went out so fast.
Yes.
And it was just such a good time. You had the judges going around. They were very, what was it called? Like, they had very high personality, very funny personalities.
Oh, yes.
You guys had your outfits on.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So I have an ugly donut sweater that I wear. I joke about it, and if I had time, I'd do it. Like, it needs its own Instagram account, like just, the ugly donut sweater or something. But it was something she found a couple of years back. It made its debut at the first Chicago Donut Festival, that she was talking about back in January of 18. But she found it on Kohl's. She was online, like Kohl's, and like shopping the clearance section, and there was this donut sweater. I don't know if it's supposed to be Christmas. I don't know if it's supposed to. It's like blue.
It was in February, so it had to have been like Christmas.
Yeah, but it was like the men's big and tall section. I was like, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, get it.
Yeah.
So she bought it, and it was it was a joke. And then I wore it. I don't think I wore it.
You didn't wear it for a long time.
I didn't wear it until...
No, you wore it at your 40th birthday party. That was the first time you wore it.
Okay, it made it to be my 40th. And then, then I wore it to Chicago. And the response from people at Chicago was like, I love that. And I was like, really? Like, this thing, I wore it as a joke. And ever since then, it just, like, become recognizable because of that.
People know who he is because of this.
Right.
People like this we went to Chicago in just last January for research.
More research.
Of course.
And one of the donut shop owners, actually there was like 3 of them actually, but one of them at the actual festival was like, I know who you are because he had a sweater on.
I watched
you on Facebook. I watched your video, and so people know who he is because of that sweater.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So she had a custom dress made.
It was a custom made. Oh wow!
I googled donut fabric, and ordered.
Well, she bought a couple from Amazon.
I did buy a couple from Amazon.
Tried those out, and they were okay. And she was like, okay,
I'm 6 foot, and these are made. For people that are like 5'5".
Yeah.
Okay. 5'5".
So they're really, really short on me, and.
So she's like, all right,
I'm gonna get one.
So we found the fabric. It was like a super really stretchy donut fabric.
And I have a friend that's a seamstress, and I was like,
cool.
I need a dress, and I happened to buy 2 fabrics, and so she made me 2 dresses.
Yeah.
And so that was one of them.
Game day decision. Which one are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So she wore a donut dress.
Those are made just for that event.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was really cool.
And the judges were dressed up, and other people came dressed up. You announced it. Come in your donut attire.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. We wanted people to get into it. Like, literally, I tell people, it's a party to celebrate donuts. Like, come and have a good time, party with us, eat some donuts. You're going to be in a carb coma for days after that.
I don't think I ate the rest of the day. I went like at 11 in the morning. I don't think I ate the rest of the day.
Yeah, seriously, you need some protein after that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what my brother when we left. I said, I need some protein. I need protein.
Yep. Big time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. You walk in, the DJ, you had your DVO Show
wall.
The donut wall.
And you had like donuts and mugs hanging from that you've collected throughout all the places you've traveled. That was really cool. And that's where we took our picture together. And then you guys have a mascot.
Yeah.
Where the hell did this come from? I loved it. I kept saying, what up, Sprinkles?
So Mascot was funny because I didn't tell her about it.
You didn't tell me.
Okay.
So I
happened to be, I don't know, I was on the road somewhere, and my thing on the road is like I'll sit in my hotel room and watch Forensic Files. Like it just it's on all the time. I don't know why. It's just like the go-to show. People are like, oh, what are you doing on the road? Sit in my hotel room. So I must have been watching Forensic Files. I just had this thought, you got to have like some kind of mascot or something people can associate with the DVO Show.
Yeah.
And all that. So I started Googling, and she had mentioned like these kind of like fabric donut costume kind of thing. I'm like, I gotta do better than that. Like I want like a legitimate mascot. Costume. So I went on and I found this place. It was based out of San Jose. And they're kind of like the middleman for the Chinese manufacturers, but they had this donut mascot costume. And I looked at that and I went, yeah,
that's it.
like that's what we need. So yeah, like I bought it and I emailed them and said, hey, I need this, ASAP. I paid for expedited shipping. I thought wrongly that it was coming from San Jose, and it wasn't. They're like, yeah, we'll get it to you by this date. We'll get it to you by this date. And they're like, I didn't hear anything, so it's getting word. Anyway, shows up. It's great. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's.
The outside of the picture they show you is, you think it's a grown man in it, and it covers the majority of his body.
Yeah.
He puts it on.
I put it on.
It doesn't even go to his waist.
Yeah, it's like it's not that big, as big as it looks in the picture. And so yeah, it's like I'm like, oh, the bottom half of me is like sticking out. So it's made for somebody who's 5'5" or so.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, while we're waiting for it, I had the picture that I used from the website, and so let's do a naming contest. Let's come up with a name.
I love that because you got the engagement of the people in it.
It was awesome. That was honestly, some of the names people came up with were fantastic. I was reading through going, oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna pick. There was Obi-Wan Kenobi,
There was a lot of Star Wars ones.
Star Wars ones. We had to settle on something that was, I guess, more universally not accepted. That's not the word I'm looking for, but the people would associate with the DVO Show. And so we had to steer away from some of the really funny ones, but they were very specific character names or whatever. Yeah. Plus, I didn't want to get sued for a Star Wars thing.
You're trying to like, oh yeah, I really like that name, and then you Google it, and you're like,
we did have one. Yeah, we had one. I'm sorry.
No. We had one that we loved, and we're like, this is a great name. I don't remember what it was.
Hold on, it'll come to me.
But I Googled it, and it came up like a porn star's name.
Yeah, it was like a porn star name.
And it had a whole Instagram name. That was the same name, but just slightly spelled a little different. And I was like, I kind of have that associated with my donut festival.
Yeah. So yeah,
I don't want somebody to accidentally put in the wrong name and be like, oh.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's not that one anymore.
Yeah, it was.
It's like
Sammy Sprinkles is what it was. It was Sammy Sprinkles.
Okay.
Yeah, don't Google that.
Okay, all right.
Unless you're not at work. But so yeah, we like I check Urban Dictionary and like Googling names. We're like, okay, does this one work out? So we ended up settling on Captain Sprinkles.
Because it was the voting.
Yeah, the voting. So we narrowed it down to 4 or 5.
And
put it out there, and yeah, there. I mean, just some great names.
There was great names, and we wish we could have done some other names, but like the whole association of words, and we're just like, okay, we tried to do
that. To be a little more careful.
So people were really upset with some of our choices. I was like, I'm sorry.
I was going through. I was reading them, and I was laughing at some. And it was fun.
You
had hundreds of people.
Our writing.
We had over 500
It was
names.
over 500 names. Some of them were duplicates.
Yeah.
But, probably 350 to 400 unique names that people had submitted for it.
It was really hard to pick a name.
It took days. We're like, oh, we'll let you know, by the next day or the next morning. We're like, oh, man, we're all night long going through the list. We're like, we can't do it.
So who'd you get squeezing into that seat then?
That was our 10-year-old son.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
So
he begged us.
He begged us.
That's awesome.
As soon as it arrived, he was like, I want to be in that. And we're like, no, we're going to have other people do it.
You're too small. It's not going to work for you.
As soon as he put it on, I was like, it's totally him.
Like it's
he was the hit. Everyone taking pictures with it.
And I thought, I'm like, look, you don't have to do it the whole time. It's going to be hot. It's going to be uncomfortable. I totally didn't expect him to last the entire DVO Show.
Actually, the weather was perfect that day.
The weather, 5.5 hours?
He wore that thing all day. Like, he would go in the judge's room and take a break for a few minutes, and then somebody would be like, hey, somebody wants to take a picture with you. And so he puts it back on and goes back out, and he loved it. I was just like...
The best question from him, though, it was before we started. He's like, so I'm taking pictures with people. Do I need to smile?
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Go ahead. He loved it.
He loved it. So that was our son. That was our son the whole time.
Oh, that's awesome.
He absolutely had a great time.
It was a good time. Me and my brother, we had a blast. We enjoyed it. We can't stop ranting and raving about it. That's why I had to get you guys on. And,
we love it.
And also because I wanted people to know the hard work that goes into something like that. People definitely neglect that or forget about that fact. They just go to enjoy, and that's why you guys did it, for people to enjoy anyway.
Exactly,
But I read in the inside lines, and I'm like, man, this was a lot of work. I just was looking around like, that was a lot of work. And I'm glad you guys also expanded and bring drinks, because you definitely needed some drinks.
We'll do more of that next year.
Yes.
For
sure. Because in the swag bag you had a water bottle.
Yes.
But you had some milk and also some coffee vendors there, and that was nice because they complement each other well.
Exactly. You have to have coffee and donuts.
Yeah,
we did.
Being in Utah, I was worried. I was like, I don't know how many people are going to be drinking coffee, but I'm like, you kind of have to have coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
So, they seem to have a great time with it. So, and we did try to get a soda shop there.
Yeah, we tried.
We tried 5 different places, and
Couldn't get a
they
response.
would not respond.
I think the next one, and I'm glad I'm going to keep calling it the first annual because I feel like
It
they
is.
have a
We're
split.
doing
It is
We're
going to be
doing it.
annual.
Okay,
yes.
good.
Absolutely.
And you let me know if I can help in any way. I'll be
Yes.
more than happy
Absolutely.
to help.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
But I think you're going to get a way bigger response
Yes.
because of the
Yeah.
great feedback
Exactly.
Yeah.
you'll be getting from the first one. And so I think you'll have a much easier time.
Yeah.
I'm
I
hoping
totally
for you
agree.
guys
Yes.
anyway.
Yes.
Yep.
Much easier time. Now you guys are in great shape. How do you guys stay in great shape? You're traveling and still have this passion for donuts.
So there's a couple of trade secrets here that I'll reveal exclusive to your podcast.
Okay.
Okay, that's a lie. I did tell. Who
You
was
told
it?
everybody.
Was it ABC4 News?
Yes.
Anyway, so okay, more trade secrets.
All right.
The key is don't eat the whole donut.
Okay.
So I've learned, and it's actually because I've had to. I go to so many donut shops. I've been to over 200. I'm on like 213 right now. Some cities I go to,
Wow.
I'll go to 3 or 4 or 5
Are you still journaling?
in a day. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
He keeps track of everywhere he goes.
And the problem came as I was eating donuts as I went, and I ended up almost getting sick. So I was like, I can't do this. Like, really, I cannot do this and end up hating what I love.
Yeah.
So I swore
Good point.
that I'm only going to have a bite or two of a donut or two. If I buy a dozen, I'll take a bite of a couple of them, and then I'm done. Like, I can push back. Unless it's a maple bar from Fresh Donut and Deli, or one of them that I absolutely, or something from Sidecar Donuts in California. Absolutely love it. It's annihilation time. Like it just goes.
Yes.
But 90% of the time, again, it's taking a long time to learn. But it's like moderation. It's like I'll bite or two. I'm like, yeah, that was pretty. That was really good. I enjoyed that, and then I'll move on. Like I have to because, I would be on that HGTV show, My 800-Pound Life.
Right.
Seriously, I would.
It took me a lot longer to get to this habit of not eating as much. I have now learned if it's not good, I don't eat it.
Yeah.
Because that took a long
obligated
time. Yeah, I used to feel obligated. So part of me getting in shape, I used to be a bodybuilder. I used to compete.
Right. Yeah, I've noticed that on
I
yours.
used to compete in bikini a couple years ago. And so I think that's where my obsession with food started.
Oreos. You'd have her on for another podcast about Oreos. Yeah.
And so I had an obsession, and so then it was one of those things you aren't eating and you're restricting your food for so long, and so then you just eat, and you're like, okay, it's bad, but I have to eat it. I have to.
Yeah.
So it took me a little bit longer. Now I'm at the point I'm like, I don't really think it's that great, so it's not worth it, and I just don't eat it as much. But we have last time we went to Chicago, we went to 5 in one morning, and so you get 6 to a dozen each shop, and so you have all these donuts, and there's no way you can eat that many.
So we could actually even try.
You throw away a lot, but you get a good sampling.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, I know.
I know it is. The first time I posted something about us throwing it away, people were like, "What?
You threw those away?"
Especially my bodybuilding friends are like, "How are you throwing that away?" I'm like, "You cannot come and eat all these donuts." I'm like, "Trust me, you cannot eat all these donuts."
It's true.
You don't want to.
You don't want to because you'll get really sick. But so it's just we go to the gym often.
Yeah.
I go almost every day.
You guys.
So
And the funny thing, when me and my brother saw you guys, we're like, I think I see them all the time. I didn't correlate until we met at the Domus Show.
Yeah.
I think I see them all the time here.
We're there. So.
It's all moderation, It's all about balance in your life.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Working out and donuts.
We eat good 95% of the time, and the other 5% is donuts.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm at a point where sometimes I just go to work out because I'm like, okay, I'm craving carbs and fats or something. So I'm going to go and hit the gym really hard just so I can.
Earn it.
Yeah, earn it. I'm going to go a little harder today.
Yep.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
How is that? Because one of our judges was George from Sacramento.
Yeah.
He's into bodybuilding. He's a coach and all that stuff. But he loves
he's
donuts.
He's a big dude. He followed me back.
Yeah,
followed each
he's,
other.
he's all about the donut life. The donut Jesus. I'm like, you can have donut and abs. It is possible. It is. It's there. Our best friend, Jeff Later, he's the same way. He's a huge guy. He can eat a lot.
Pro bodybuilder,
and he's the same thing. He's like, it's all about balance. He's like, it's not bad food.
Right.
He's like, you can have it. You just have to be careful everything else you eat.
Well, I saw on video. Did you guys do a donut eating contest before it started? I totally missed that part.
No, we did one during.
Him and
I did one a few months back.
Okay.
They did a six pack challenge.
So when did you do this one at the Domus Show?
It was during GA2, so it was about.
It's at the end.
1:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably after I left then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a few people. We brought a couple dozen in from Krispy Kreme. And,
we brought in the Krispy Kreme. But we went with just a plain glazed. And it was kind of a last minute thing.
It was a last minute thing that I threw together.
Yeah.
That somebody, a couple months before even tickets went on sale, somebody was like, "Are you guys having a donating contest?" And oddly enough, we'd had like a committee meeting a couple weeks before that saying, "We gotta do some donating contest, you know." And so I was like, "Hey Jeff, somebody's calling you out," because Jeff and Bryan had done 6-pack eating.
Who won that one?
Jeff.
Okay.
There was no competition.
Okay.
Just go back and watch it. It's so embarrassing, but it's awesome.
And so Jeff's like, "Oh yeah, I'll totally do a donating contest." And so I was like, "Okay," trying to figure out what to do. And then tickets went on sale, and the guy's like, "I didn't get tickets, but are we still gonna do it?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, we're trying to work it out, you know." And then like a week or two before, I convinced George, because he was coming out. I was like, "George, you have to do this competition."
Right.
He's like, "Okay, I can lose. I don't care." And so I looked up the guy that initially initiated it. He's a professional eater.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did not know that when Jeff said yes, he would do it.
Yeah.
Jeff didn't realize he was a professional eater. Jeff's like, "I don't want to go
Like,
against
whoa,
a professional
wait a
eater." They one of those holds a world record for like what 32 ears of corn.
Most ears of corn in
10 minutes.
Yeah,
Like it's insane. And Jeff was
crazy.
like,
Crazy stuff.
"No, I'm not doing that." And so we got Jeff I convinced Jeff to do it. George was like, "I don't care if I lose to him, no big deal."
Yeah.
And then we had
another guy lined up.
But he was gonna come do it, and then I never saw him.
Yeah.
Like we never, you know, it was that time to do it. And I was like, "I don't know where he's at." I'm like, "Crap, I need another person." So I'm like, Steven, who was our judge from Chicago. I was like, "Steven, get up there." And he's like,
okay. You got to remember that both George and Steven, they're judges.
Yeah.
So they had already eaten.
Yeah,
they already sampled 20 plus donuts in the judges' room earlier that day. So now it's 1:30. So the last thing these guys want to do is
Steven's like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it. Get me out there." And so the guy shows up, the professional eater. He's this huge guy, like he was giant. I looked up and I was like,
big guy.
"Oh, okay, yeah." He shows up with 2 big cups of hot coffee, and he dipped it donuts. He would break it, dip it in. He says if you dip it in the hot coffee, it helps melt the sugar off, and then just jam it in his mouth.
Just drink it.
He would just drink it. It was as many as a dozen donuts as fast as you can.
Yeah, a dozen regular Krispy Kreme donuts. Whoever could finish the fastest. This guy did it in a minute 5.
What? A dozen?
A dozen.
Wow.
Minute 5.
Minute 5.
Jeff later finished. He was about 3.5 minutes, but he actually finished, and the other 2 didn't finish. Like, they were throwing their donuts in other people's boxes. You know,
that's funny.
We're waiting. We actually got to get video from the photographer. We've got a whole video shoot of it. The donating contest that will get posted soon. So.
That's
awesome.
So
it was kind of one of those last minute things that hopefully we'll probably do it again, but somehow make it a little bit bigger and like more.
And probably do one like every session. Donating contest every session, so everybody gets to see it.
That'd be fun. That would be fun.
So and we're already throwing stuff around for next year.
I can't wait.
We're already talking to different donut shops already, and we're already planning. So
let me ask you guys, what is your favorite? I don't know what you call it, flavor, or do you have like a favorite?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's always a favorite.
It's always favorite.
So Maple Bar is my go-to.
Okay.
At any donut shop, it's like my baseline donut. Like I always get a Maple Bar because I want to see how it is.
You like the maple with bacon?
Yeah, maple bacon's great. It's done very well and it's done very poorly. It just depends on where it is.
Yeah.
Some of them I like, some of them I don't, but definitely love the savory and sweet.
Yeah.
So the Maple Bar is just kind of my baseline donut. My all-time favorite, I have to say, is the Huckleberry donut from Sidecar Donuts in California.
Okay.
Yes.
They started in Costa Mesa. They've got a place in Santa Monica now, and all of their flavors. I mean, they do a bunch of the Girl Scout cookie flavors and all that stuff. But they have a Huckleberry donut that is just
it is really good.
Unbelievable.
Nice.
Just absolutely unbelievable. But I've had just incredible donuts all over. I mean, it's rare you find a really bad one.
Yeah.
Most of them are like, okay, it's pretty good, but
you can always go for a blueberry too.
Yeah, anything blueberry, a blueberry cake.
Yeah, blueberry
cake.
cake's
I love
good.
blueberry for that.
Heather?
I will take a maple bar without bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll eat the bacon, but it's not my favorite.
Okay, all right.
And then a fritter.
Ooh, a fritter.
I love fritters.
What, do you have a particular fritter?
Raspberries tend to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the DVO Show, we had a pineapple jalapeno fritter.
I know, and I didn't get to try that.
Missed it.
You didn't?
I had a bite.
I've had it before.
Good. It was from Nighttime.
Yeah, that one's cool. I've been out there.
When I was pregnant with child number 2, I think I had a Dunford donut raspberry fritter. Almost every single night. We knew exactly.
It was a gas station by our house.
It was a gas station by our house. We knew exactly when they were fresh and when they would deliver them at night. And so he would go and get me a donut.
Wow.
And a tiger's blood.
And a tiger's blood. So I loved the raspberry fritter from Denver.
Which is probably why that child is really hyper.
That is probably explains
We fed him fritters and tiger's blood.
Now you found out what it was.
I don't think a fritter. I love raspberry or like blueberry.
Okay.
So.
I think my favorite might be chocolate cake with chocolate icing.
Oh yeah,
might be,
absolutely.
I think I inherited that from my dad. That love
the
for
Dunford.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
it's it's a classic.
That is a classic one.
Another good one if you get up is Parsons up in Bountiful.
Oh,
they have a great chocolate. It is it rivals the one from Dunford.
And
it's very good.
cinnamon roll.
Oh, yeah, good cinnamon roll up there.
My daughter
Phenomenal.
annihilated that cinnamon roll. She was like, "That was the best thing I've ever eaten."
Wow.
I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, Parsons. Yep.
So now that reminds me, I have a question for you guys.
All right.
Cinnamon roll, donut or not donut?
Not donut.
There was a churro vendor. Donut, not donut.
Mexican donut.
Mexican donut? Oh, good answer. Not donut.
It's fried dough. The difference is cinnamon rolls. Well, so some people call the cinnamon rolls you get at donut shops.
Yeah.
Those are fried. Whereas a regular cinnamon roll, like the one we're talking about at Parsons, are baked. In a pan. And so baked versus fried. So that's my nuance.
Okay.
So there are cinnamon rolls that are donuts, as long as they're
maple
fried.
Pershing.
Yeah, like a maple Pershing from Dunford as well. But churros, I mean, it's dough and it's fried.
Okay.
So it's a form of a donut.
All right.
Let's call it a cousin.
Okay.
Maybe a second cousin.
All right, and then fritter.
Yes.
Is this donut?
Yep.
Okay.
So what a lot of people, they argue that fritters aren't donuts.
Yeah, right.
And what a lot of people don't realize, the fritter originated, at least in a couple of the history books I've read, donut history books. I have several.
Donut history.
I have several. I still have to finish reading through a lot of them.
Oh, you're for real?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
For real.
I have a library.
I have
a library.
We had
Oh, yeah.
donut books.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
That's awesome.
But the fritter used to be after they made all the donuts and all the leftover dough, the holes or the cutting, everything that was cut and it's kind of like everything that was left over. They would mash together, throw some fruit, in it and fry it up.
Right.
And that's what the workers would eat or they would sell kind of on the side. And so that's what fritters were, was kind of the leftovers of everything else, all mixed together, throw in some flavor. Traditional is an apple fritter or whatever, and put it in the fryer and just fry it up so it wouldn't go to waste. Somebody could enjoy it and then glaze it or whatever. And so it's literally made up of, and nowadays they're made on purpose. It's not just leftovers anymore. So people really, really go after it. But it's a donut in every sense of the word. I mean, its shape is different.
Fritters are hard to make though.
They are very hard.
And they are very hard. Yeah. We actually took a donut making class.
We did.
Oh, cool.
And learned how to make fritters, and they are really hard to make.
Take a long time to fry.
They do, because you got to make sure you get the consistency right of frying it. Because if you overcook the outside, it's burnt. But then you got to make sure the inside is cooked enough. And so that's where I have I always get a fritter and okay, that one wasn't done right. You can tell with the fritter.
Oh yeah. Apple cinnamon fritter is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was actually talking to, who was it? I think it was somewhere over at Jack's, and she was saying how hard it is.
Yes, fritters are harder
because
they are bigger and thicker, and so it's quite the technique to try and cook them.
And to get one that's not too oily.
Yes.
They spend a lot more time frying than a traditional donut.
I've had that.
And so you get ones that are just like, oh man.
Yeah, that left a bad taste.
Yeah, I've had that. Well, awesome, you guys. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to come out here.
Great.
Again, I want to give you guys a pat on the back on the Dough Show, Utah Dough Show.
Thank you.
I can't wait for the next year's.
Yep.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
And do you guys have big plans for International Donut Day next week?
Working on it.
Okay.
Literally trying to figure it out as we go. We keep talking about it. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. I may or may not involve a helicopter. I don't know. I'm kidding.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. So last year, it's hard to top last year's because we hit a dozen donut shops. It was all her fault. I was going to go to 3 or 4.
Whoa.
She's like, let's keep going. We'll go here and go here. Guess what?
If we do
2 more, we'll be at a dozen. I was like,
we were in Magna, and then so I started Google mapping a few other spots, and I was like, well, this path leads us
if we go to
perfectly
Big O and then
this
Banbury,
way.
she maps out the whole thing.
And then we made it to Donut Point. I was like, well, if we go to 1 or 2 more, we're at a dozen. He's like,
it makes sense.
I have to, but
I'll go for one more.
So we ended up at home with this just huge, massive donuts that we put on our kitchen counter and kind of did a photo shoot, and then we posted on the neighborhood Facebook page, like, hey,
maybe one's donuts.
Come
so there will probably be a party at our house.
So yeah, there'll be something similar this year. It's just
we're trying to figure out where we're going, how many.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Our kids aren't in school this time, so that helps. Last year was our last day of school, and so we were trying to go get donuts, try and get them off to school, hurry and finish more donuts, get home in time to pick them up from school. And
now,
so this year, I'm
we're
like,
good.
okay, they're not in school
We
this
got
year,
all
so
day.
we have all day.
So it'll be epic.
You just mentioned Donut Boy. They won the crowd favorite.
They did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Crowd
did.
favorite. Donut Boy's great.
So that's who I voted for. That's who I talked to.
Yeah.
So,
I knew exactly what you were
Yeah.
saying.
Yep.
I knew
Donut Boy's
exactly.
great. We love them. We love Gia.
Yeah.
The whole family over there.
They're
They
great.
do
it was great. So
stuff.
they won the crowd favorite, and then the judge favorite was Mirror Lake.
Yes.
Yep.
So I followed them too. Are they in a gas station?
Yes, they
Yes.
Do they own the gas station
Yes.
too? That's what I was trying to piece it together. I was like,
Yes.
what's happening here?
Literally
Yes.
gas station donuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you,
was
you
super
go, you
good.
go up to Camas, right in downtown Camas, as you turn to go on Mirror Lake Highway to go up to Mirror Lake and up in the Uintas. And
Everybody
there's a
knows that
Chevron
gas
station
station.
right
Yeah.
there. And it's full on. There's a car wash next to it, and it's a regular
Yeah.
convenience store, and there's a bakery in the back.
Wow.
And they crank out some of the most amazing donuts.
Yeah.
You know, and then until now, recently, a lot of people didn't know. People are like, oh, I always stop
I
for
didn't
gas
know.
there.
Yeah,
You know, I always stop for
I
gas there when I'm going up to the cabin.
Right.
I've never gone
Me too.
inside to.
You need to go inside.
And now,
Yeah.
they're
now
getting,
they sell out.
Yeah, they sell out big
Quickly.
time.
Wow.
Like
It's a
if
lot of
you
fun.
want a
Good for
fritter, you need to call the day before and order
Order
one.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
Because they will sell out.
Good for
Yeah.
them.
Guaranteed sell out.
Yeah, they're running out a lot
Yeah.
now. So it's been exciting for them. And Donut Boy's seen a lot of activity, you know, from the dough show. and
Yeah.
that, so those
Yeah,
were fun.
I was talking to him. He might be coming on the
Sweet. podcast
too. It
Good.
would be fun.
That'd be really cool.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks so much again for
Yes.
coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you guys, and thanks so much for you guys for watching
Yeah,
and
thank
listening to the DVO show. And where can they find you guys if they want to follow you? We mentioned Donuts Unplugged on
Donuts
Instagram.
I'm Donuts Unplugged. Instagram, Facebook, whatever medium you want. Twitter, I have a blog, donutsunplugged.com. But the Utah Dough Show is Utah Dough Show
Dough Show.
on Facebook, Instagram. Website's the same, Utah Dough Show.
Yeah, go like it so you get on that on next year's.
Yeah, you definitely want to get in on
Yes,
the
get in
email
early.
list. Make sure you're.
You know
Getting
when
because
tickets go on sale and
We'll do a release
Yeah.
to email subscribers. You know, we'll
Yeah.
get it out, but you want to get tickets to it because it's going to be even better.
Awesome.
It's gonna be a lot
Thanks
of
you
fun.
guys so much.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, take care.